Boom, we are pre-recorded, ladies and gentlemen, and what an exciting few days it has been. We opened the private Den newsletter and members group. We had over 170 people sign up in the last 3 days, which means our way to the 250 max cap of whoever is going to get the $20 a month grandfather deal is almost full. After that, we're going to raise the price probably to $30 or $40 per month for the next 250 people, and then we're going to actually gap up again after that. So anyone that signs up in the first 500 people basically will get a discounted price, and you get grandfathered in. If someone that was ahead of you gets out, then you will then be grandfathered into the cheaper price. So the first 250 people get $20 a month. The next 250 people are probably $30 or $40 a month. We'll decide that next. Anyways, let's dive into the charts. It's been exciting. We exited Bitcoin yesterday two days ago around the 5250 and 5150 mark. I was out being a little crazy last night, so I actually missed the reentry at 4850, which would have been great. And then I re-entered around 4953 here. Bam, right, this area. Now what we're looking for is actually a subtle breakout. Anything above the 4135 mark, I think, is going to very quickly take us for a nice little 4.5% move, probably to retest the last high of around $5,330 for Bitcoin. We're in a fairly precarious spot. As you can see, the volume is actually quite low up this high, and there's a long ways down towards the bottom. So these are all what we consider hawk's eye trade in the private den, which means we watch them quite closely. We have alerts set so that if we break any of these key support levels, the $4,800 area is actually a very strong support and resistance line right here. And it actually, this is right along the EMA for the 1 hour too. So if you scroll out here, the EMA for the 100-day exponential moving average for the 1 hour, we bounced off 4850 yesterday, made a nice quick V-shaped bottom, and then we've been accelerating up top. Again, I look for around a 4.5% move out of Bitcoin here before coming back down or potentially breaking out. Anything with a breakout above 4392 is a clear breakout. I would say maybe even put it a little higher just to be sure, 5400. That's going to basically lead us into potential higher territory like the 56 and the $5,900 gaps that we saw in the volume profile. I think it's extremely important to keep a close eye on these when we're in these types of positions, because you could see a sharp reversal back down to 3,200, and as we suspect in the future, probably much lower. I think there's a lot of people that are getting excited thinking, oh, this is the parabolic move we've been looking for. And even if it is, I want to make this very clear. First off, I have exposure to this space. I've had exposure to this space since Bitcoin is at $90. And then if anyone's new to this space, first off, educate yourself as best as you can. That's your first best investment. The second good one to do is to try buying a small amount of Bitcoin or Litecoin, whatever it is, and just find out what it's like. If you have no exposure to this asset space or this class or whatsoever, at least dip your toe in and start to learn. Whether it's $5,000, $1,500, you're not going to care in the next 2 or 3 years, and I can't stress that enough. I like trading. A lot of the Bear family members, we like trading. This 4% move, this can mean a lot depending on what you're playing with, right? So the same thing actually goes for Litecoin and Ethereum right now. Although we've been realizing that the variations of where we want to chart are very specifically much more in the Bitcoin price range. So as you can see, once we bounced off the top of this resistance level, we checked it multiple times, 1, 2, 3 here for Ethereum versus Bitcoin. We actually dropped down quite a bit in Ethereum's price. Now that's Ethereum's price next to Bitcoin. Whereas if you look at Ethereum into the US dollar, you don't see as noticeable as a drop. We do see obviously that there's consolidation. We came back down from 160, and then we went up again almost as high as 175, 180. Now that's actually become the next area of the breakout. So we've got two levels of potentiality here that we're looking for. We're looking for a break below 153, which is negative, and I would be following Bitcoin most importantly to keep an eye on what Ethereum is doing. If Bitcoin goes down, Ethereum's coming down too. I don't give it what you think. It's not going to keep going. So I would also look for a potential breakout above the $180 mark. If we break above either of these ideas here, it's going to be very noticeable for us to have a clear range of extension or a clear range of breakdown in the markets. And that's really important to note, because in this particular space and time, keeping a close eye on our markets here right now is very, very important. Sorry, I've got my cleaner here right now, so it's buzzing through the talking line. So both Ethereum and Litecoin are actually tucked in that same area. For Litecoin, we're actually a little closer to a possible breakout. We have two layers of resistance and support right around the $89 and $90 mark, again with a clear possible extension out towards the $99 area again. So in terms of if Bitcoin keeps moving or if Litecoin keeps moving, we have a 12% up possibility for Litecoin with only a 4% possibility for the breakout extension on Bitcoin. So Litecoin has actually given us a lot of positive momentum, so I'm interested in this trade if we break out above this $90 area again. We actually had a long signal come in last night, but I wasn't here. It was when we broke back above this $83 area. So this is the thing with trading. You guys have to use your own pattern recognition systems, and that's really what we want to do with the private Bear Den members. There's a bunch of resources, there's a bunch of other great traders. Our newsletter is going to consist of a lot of active trading indicators, like, oh, this is what your EMA is, this is how you use these tools, because we don't want to give you fish. Anyone that's selling you signal calls, this is the worst investment you can possibly make because it's not useful to you. Just buying and exiting isn't really going to help what you're trying to do. It makes a big difference when you actually know how to fish. That's the essentiality of what we're looking at here, is how do you learn how to fish, not just, oh, here's a fish, take it and go, because you'll inevitably, I think, fail. So we're keeping a close eye on all these, and Raven actually too has consolidated quite nicely, and we're looking for a breakout above the extension areas between here, the 1196 and then the potential 1273. We've actually been consolidating in this area for quite some time now. Let's see, let's go with a date range. That way I'm not just guessing stuff. We've been consolidating this area here for the last 3 days. I'm going to look for a breakout in Raven, although I'm not currently entered into a trade. As we exited the previous trade in Raven at 1500, I'm still looking for a strong entry point, and it's looking more and more. It's looking like more and more confidence is building in Raven for that potential fourth wave breakout to 2,600 Satoshis. Anyways, we're going to leave it as a short video today. Remember, if you haven't yet and you want to, there's only like 60 spots left for the grandfather Bear Den private memberships. You can pay for a year up front, half months, bi-quarterly. Smash that thumbs up button if you like this content. If you're new to the Bear family, you can also subscribe for the free private newsletter. We'll send that every month as well. If you guys want to join our community Telegram, because there's a bunch of great people there, very supportive as well. This is Teo with the Arcane Bear. Thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate all the support. It's been one heck of a ride, and I'm really looking forward to what the next few weeks bring. And remember, we are in hawk's eye trade for everything right now. So if you're in the trader mentality, this is one of those fun times where we're seeing 10 to 12% moves off Raven just from the bounces and volatility, and that can be huge if you're playing the game. We'll see you guys on the other side. Remember, if you have any questions, comments, please leave those down below, or join the Telegram channel where there are a bunch of friendly, happy bear admins ready and willing to meet you and help answer your guys' questions. This is Teo with the Arcane Bear. I'm signing off for the rest of the afternoon. We hope you have yourselves a great day.